Good evening and welcome to another News News and Views. I'm your host, Don Burgess, and tonight we're going to be talking about Marina College, and we have three of the women who make that happen. First and foremost, we have Dr. Duranda Greene. Welcome, Dr. Greene.
Good evening, Don.
It was nice. Yeah, it was nice meeting you on Thursday when you were passing out the diplomas to the students.
Enjoyed doing that.
Yeah, it was a very interesting way of making that happen. I saw the smiles on their faces.
Yes, the enthusiasm was infectious.
Also tonight we have Dr. Phyllis Curtis-Tweed. Welcome, Dr. Curtis-Tweed.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening. You're welcome. And we also have Ms. Tawana Flood. Welcome, Tawana.
Hi, good evening.
All right. I mentioned this earlier, but I love the artwork that you have in the background.
Thank you. Thank you.
Why don't we start with the graduation ceremony on Thursday? How did that sort of come about as a way to honor the 2020 graduates?
When we decided that we were going to cancel our traditional ceremony, we decided that we would give the students their diplomas on the 28th of May. And one of our employees, we were talking about handing them out. I was going to be there to hand them out, and somebody suggested we do it outside of the gymnasium. So we decided that was going to be the place. We decorated it, and no one would have known that we were outside of the gymnasium. That allowed us them not to have to get out of their cars. If they didn't want to, we could just hand them to them, and it also practicing our physical distancing that we're supposed to be doing.
For those people who may not just be familiar, how many graduates did we have this year?
We had 107 graduates from the Bermuda College, and then we had another 16 of them from St. Vincent and Miami University, which we'll be honoring them later because their graduations was on Friday. The last one was on Friday.
Okay. And we also had some dual graduates from Cedar Bridge and Berkeley as well.
Dual enrollment students from Cedar Bridge and Berkeley, yes, who had their cheering section out there with them. The Berkeley Institute principal and her team were there cheering them on. So it was a very fun activity. And I think the students appreciated it, their parents appreciated it. So it was a lot, and the enthusiasm and all the comments. And you saw them all waving to Bermuda there. So that was good. And we appreciate having you come by and film that for us as well.
Well, I enjoyed it. I love seeing young people achieve and reach their dreams. Mm-hmm. and even in the adversity of the COVID crisis, they were able to persevere. For the college, helping them to reach this goal, what sort of challenges did the students have to face, did the college have to face to make this happen?
Well, as you know, in mid-May, March, we all had to go online. So that was a switch for many of our students because most of them haven't done an online course before. So they had to switch and make for those 5 weeks. We had amazing faculty. With very short notice, they were able to switch their classes from face-to-face to online to make sure that the students' work wasn't interrupted. So we have to give kudos to them. We are fortunate that we had 13 faculty members that were already online certified, and some of them had already been teaching online courses. So they were able to provide support for the other faculty members as well. Did some professional development. Our instructional resource center coordinator was able to give them training on Zoom so that because some of them were using Zoom for the first time as well. But all in all, it turned out well. We did a survey at towards the end of it, and turned out well. 77 felt that the students felt that gave the faculty for preparedness a 77% mark. So that was a good mark, considering they only had 2 days notice to go online.
Were there some sort of challenges with the students maybe not having a laptop or computer, or some of them maybe just using a cell phone to try to access the materials?
Yeah, that was a challenge, but we were able to, thanks to our Bermuda College Foundation, was able to reach out to Deloitte and they were able to provide laptops. We also had some laptops in stock that we were able to give to students. So those students that we knew about, we were able to provide laptops for them. So that was good.
You mentioned like you had some professors who were already teachers that were already online certified. Is there a difference normally when there's not a crisis that when you're teaching these kind of courses that you would have to have the online certification?
It's a requirement for us at the Bermuda College. So we require all of our faculty who are teaching online, they have to be online certified. So that is a requirement that we do have. So if we're, obviously we couldn't do it in for March, but I'm pleased to say that every one of our faculty members have volunteered to do some online certification during the summer. So they will be doing that during their summer break to be better prepared for the remote learning in the fall.
So is that what's going to be happening in the fall? Is it going to be remote learning, or do you see any transition back into the classroom, or are you sort of doing like a dual path, hoping that maybe it'll be back in the classroom, but making sure the remote learning angle is there?
We will have our labs and we'll be on face-to-face so that the students can get those practical classes. But for the most part, the other classes will continue to be offered remotely.
Regardless of where Bermuda is, phase 3 or phase 4, remotely is going to be at least for the fall.
For the fall, at least for the fall, yeah, so that our faculty can be prepared. We're not, deciding which way we're going to go. We're making that decision at this point in time so that they can prepare and be better prepared.
Yeah, so basically then no classroom learning except for the labs until January.
For the most part.
All right. I know, like when the POP became the government 3 years ago, they made a big emphasis on scholarships and grants, providing money for students, especially in the public schools, who had a 3.0 GPA, I believe it is, that they could attend Bermuda College for free. And then they provided also some need-based grants for other students. How has that worked out? How has that helped the college and retain local students to go there?
Well, the first part of the this government's initiative was the government grant for financial assistance, which was $300,000. And we're pleased that we've received that for the last 3 years. And that has been really helpful for our PACE students, our professional and career education students, because Bermuda College has always given financial aid, but our financial aid for Bermuda College was geared for our credit students, those students doing associate degrees, certificates, and diplomas. Once the government opened up gave the $300,000, it opened up avenues for professional and career education students to get financial assistance as well. So that's been a blessing for us when it comes to that. We've also, the second part of the initiative was the College Promise Program, which started last year with very short notice. The students who had a 3.0 in Berkeley or Cedar Bridge were able to come to the Bermuda College free. And we're pleased, last year, we accepted 32 students in the College Promise Program.
Well, that's amazing. That's a really good number. With the PACE program, with this $300,000 grant, how have you seen the numbers grow, and how have students reflected their gratitude that they're able to attend?
Tawana, you want to tackle that one?
Sure, I can answer that. Don, over 80% of the students, the Milton Vincent University graduates and the Miami University graduates actually received funding as a result of the Bermuda government tuition grant. So they're very, very grateful. We actually did see a surge in registrations last semester, as well as the fall semester, particularly for the compliance training. So again, we were very grateful for that.
Does the college foresee maybe that enrollment might increase this fall because some students may not go overseas because of fears of COVID, or their parents may not be working and may not be able to, they had plans to go away to an overseas university, but now financially that's not really an option for them. So do you expect to see an increase in enrollment?
Dr. Tu, do you want to do that one, or you want me to?
Yeah, we certainly hope that that is the case. We're hoping that students who may not be able to travel abroad as they had planned to, or the university's plans are uncertain, as many of them are at this time, that they will take the opportunity to come to Bermuda College. This is the programming at Bermuda College is second to none. They can take courses, whether for the semester or for the year, and transfer those credits to whatever institution they may be attending. So we're certainly hoping that that we'll have a bump in enrollment as people who may not be ready to travel yet, for reasons, will come to us.
The tonight, one of the things that was mentioned at the protest was, and again, that comes up from time to time, was about Bermuda College becoming a four-year institution so that Bermudians don't have to go overseas. They can get all the training here. And, you know, I think I've heard in the past that it be said that, you know, 2 years was enough. Is there any possibility that Bermuda College could be a four-year institution somewhere down the road?
Anything's possible. But becoming a four-year institution is going to be would be a major undertaking for the Bermuda College, just because of the accreditation, the cost of it alone, doubling your faculty, you would have to have more professors on our staff with doctoral degrees or terminal degrees. So it is possible, but it is a major undertaking for the country. And we would have to make sure that it's not a situation where you build it, they come, but they will be out there coming before, making a commitment to come before we open up our doors. Because even in our upper level classes now, our classes are very small. I am a true believer that the quality of the education, some of that has to do with the number, the students are learning from students as well. So if you've got a class with just 5 students in it and it's a 300 or 400 level class, after a while you're going to be hearing the same things, as opposed to having a broader perspective on things, because it's not just the teacher at that level. It's not just the teacher imparting knowledge, but students are imparting knowledge as well. So, but it is possible, but I don't think it's in the immediate future given the cost.
Right. So I guess some people just maybe think, not, this is a very simplistic way of explaining it, but they just think, oh, we're going to become a four-year institution and we open the doors in the fall and it's going to happen like that. It's a longer accreditation process, and making sure you have all the right faculty and other requirements to get certified.
Yeah, and also we want to make sure that not only your library resources, or a lot of things that the accreditors look at, they look at differently from a 2-year institution to a 4-year institution. And we also want to make sure that we have the research capabilities. But what our focus has been for the Bermuda College is making sure that we have partnerships so that students can transfer into the 3rd year of a 4-year degree program, and also offering programs here, as we talked about earlier. You have the St. Vincent program where students can complete their whole 4 years here. And also the Miami University program, which is they can complete their master's degree in special education via Bermuda College with those institutions. So we are doing our part to make sure that the students do get a head start at the Bermuda College. Dr. Tweed has been very instrumental in her team, making sure that we have increased the number of articulation agreements or transfer agreements that we have. So we have more than 30 transfer agreements now, and that's growing, constantly growing, because now we're putting a focus on those in the UK, because you have so many students wanting to go to the UK. So making sure that we have partnerships with the UK institutions. We signed one 2 years ago with University of Buckingham University. So that is that's our focus, is to make sure that they have a solid foundation in those 2 years so that they can transfer seamlessly to the next, to finish that 4-year degree overseas.
Yeah, you don't want students taking classes and not being able to transfer them. It could be a frustration.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, you also have an agreement with the University of West Indies. still?
We do. We
Okay.
do have agreement with University of West Indies. We do the teacher certification through them, through the Professional and Career Education Center as well. So that is helped to certify teachers because there's a shortage of math teachers, science teachers we've done, and middle school and high school teachers on the island.
Yeah.
So that's been positive.
If I may add to that, all of our partnerships are 2+2 agreements, which means that because we have the partnership, if a student meets the criteria, they are accepted into the institution. So students don't have to worry about making applications and worrying about whether or not they'll be accepted. If they've gotten their associate's degree at Bermuda College and they're applying to one of our partner institutions, provided they meet the criteria that is set out, they will be accepted into that institution. And all of
Since you have 32, sorry, since you have 32 of them, where on the Bermuda College website can they go to find that information?
Well, they can go to the Bermuda College website and transfer pathways. So that would be college.bm, and you go to the index and it says pathways.
Okay, so that way they can look and see, oh, that's a university I was thinking about going to anyway. I can save my parents some money or save myself some money and stay at home a little bit. And as I get my feet wet, because not everyone's ready to go away to university after they graduate secondary school.
All of that is true, and many of our transfer partners prefer to have the students come in after getting those 2 years at Bermuda College, because the students have gone through any of the transitional issues that freshmen encounter or sophomores encounter. So you really have an advantage. You have proven that you can do college level work, and it really puts the student at an advantage.
Right. Now, what are some of the more popular programs at the college that students seem to gravitate to?
I would say that one of the most popular programs is the Associates in Business Administration. I think this year we had something like 32 graduates in that program. And then also we have a variety of programs in our arts and science division. So there are a number of students who opt for programs in that area. Now, the number of students that we have in nursing may not be large, but it is also a popular program in that many young people come to the college hoping to enter the nursing program. But as with any nursing program, the numbers of students that you can accommodate in a cohort is restricted. So we are able to accommodate 12 at a time. And so not everybody will get to go into that program right away. So those are the most popular programs, I think.
And particularly in my division, Dawn, with the adult learners, the most popular courses are the Certificate for Nursing Assistants, as well as the compliance programs. What we're finding, though, is that students are now focused on transferable skills, such as project management, data analysis. With so much data out there now, companies are looking for people who can actually interpret the data. And here recently, we've had an uptick in the Certified Online Instructor course.
Certified Online Instructor course. So
Yes,
they can take an online course to learn how to do online courses.
This is it. I mean, it's not necessarily just for teachers, right? Because we have your churches, youth groups, and what have you. They moved from an in-person format to an online format. So it's been very, very helpful for them as well.
Especially now under the pandemic crisis that everything's going on, and people are learning how to use Zoom. We're using StreamYard, but I mean, there's multitude of different formats and ways that people can go online, Google Classrooms and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. What are some possible fields of study that could be added to the college program to meet maybe some of the needs or shortfalls we have in providing enough workers for different industries?
That's a good question. And I think there's a twofold answer, because some of the programming at the college has to be responsive to what's going on now. And some of it has to be really a part of the vision, looking at where the college should be and where we should be heading for the future. So we have basically looked at developing our curriculum on the basis of the jobs reports, looking at what the island needs in terms of employment. Thus we have, the nursing program, as well as the new division of allied health that's a part of that, the nursing division. And with that, we're offering pre-health and pre-med. We're developing a diagnostic imaging technician program that will be in place by next fall. And looking at in the future, we have actually just passed a marine science program. And the reason I connect that with the future is because we really need for people to understand Bermuda's natural resources and have a mind towards what we can do in terms of thinking about sustainability for the island. So that's kind of it in a nutshell.
Right. Some of the things I know, like Bitcoin and crypto, and a lot of making apps and data, all those technological things. What sort of education can somebody get at the college in those areas?
So actually, here recently, the college partnered with Global Knowledge specifically to offer IT courses. So all of the above, everything that you just mentioned, we now have partnered with Global Knowledge to offer those courses. So from blockchain to cloud computing to project management, the whole slew, and cybersecurity, etc.
I know because, go ahead.
We also have our computer information systems program, and our students have been really quite active in the development of apps. And I don't know if you're familiar with Tree Frog, which is an app that has been helping the government disseminate information. That was actually developed with the assistance of Bermuda College students. So that possibility is there as well.
Right. And we've seen, especially now, like, again, mother's necessity of invention. With the crisis, we see a lot more people turning to apps and using apps to do things that perhaps weren't needed before because everybody was able to go out and about. But now that you're home, people are relying more on technology to get information or to be able to do various things. The hospitality industry in particular, one of the complaints some Bermudians have is like there's not enough Bermudians in the hospitality field. What sort of training, what sort of degrees can Bermudians get at the college that will give them a leg up in the industry so they're not stuck at the lower levels of the hospitality industry, but they can have goals and work their way up?
Well, we have the associates in hospitality management. There's also the possibility of doing a diploma, and we also have the degree programs in culinary arts. All of those programs can help students to move into the hospitality area. And our students are very successful, those who come through. I would love to see more students take advantage of the excellent programming that we have in hospitality. Many of our culinary students are picked up or have been picked up by the area hotels work and have been given opportunities to even work overseas, for example, with Marcus Samuelson's restaurant. So there are great opportunities there. We just need for Bermudians to come and take advantage of them. We also have partnerships with overseas institutions like Johnson & Wales, where if a student wants to go further and get a bachelor's degree, they can do that too.
I know, like one jobs report, looking at the number of work permits, it was like for chefs, it was like 500. So there's like a tremendous opportunity if somebody loves to be in the kitchen and cook to further their career by going to the college.
Absolutely, and our program is accredited by the American Culinary Federation.
What's another area that you maybe perhaps are seeing that are a little bit underutilized that Bermudians could get into to help fill up a niche that maybe we have a lot of people on work permits for?
From
actuarial science, the actuarial science program, and also even though the business program is the most popular program here at the Bermuda College, it's doing the accounting part of the business. There's a lot of concentrations, but there's definitely a need for accountants on the island, and that can be done starting at the Bermuda College in the associate degree program as well.
Not to try to fit a square peg into a round hole, but like if somebody's interested and they like math, or they like. I know I did interviewed a few accountants who had just passed their CPAs, but and they were talking. It's not just about the math, though. It's about relationships and dealing with people, and being able to manage the client, and personal skills rather than just do all the numbers sort of stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
And our program, the business program, is well-rounded. It's not just, even though they don't specialize, they into the second year. So during their first year, they're doing the organizational behavior and all those other things that they have to do to be well-rounded.
Now, if somebody wants to learn how to be a plumber or a mechanic or one of the other trades, can they get that done at the college as well? And what's the programs like?
Most definitely.
Absolutely.
There's that myth out there that there's no technical education going on at Bermuda College, but there's plenty going on at Bermuda College with technical education. Matter of fact, we actually partner with, that's one of our dual enrollment programs, where we partner with the Ministry Department of Education, so that students from Cedar Bridge and Berkeley in their third year can come up to us for during the first year. They do a general get a feel for all the technical areas. So they do some plumbing, some electrical, some HVAC, automotive, and then in their second year, they concentrate on one of those areas. And then after they get that certificate, they can come back to the Bermuda College to get their associate degree. So there is a lot of technical education. Of course, we can always have more students, because most of the programs are with those students who are coming directly out of high school. But there are plenty of things for them to do here at the Bermuda College when it comes to the trades.
Yeah.
We have a question from one of the people that are watching, Anna Pereira. She asked, is there a mentorship program that international business employees can get involved in?
We don't have a formal mentorship program, but they do. Most of our students have to do some type of work placement or internship. And during that, of course, they develop mentor programs. But I know our Career and Counseling Center is always looking for persons to come up and talk to students. But if she wants to be a mentor, I'm sure that we can find some mentees for her, or a mentee for her.
Okay, so Anna, if you want to reach out to the college, they're happy to work with you and see if they can do something. For all of you, I originally was just going to post this to Dr. Greene, but for each one of you, what do you think has been the biggest changes that you've seen the college make since you started? So I realize each of you have different start times.
So do we want to start with the most recent, or the served the longest?
Well, why don't we go from most recent to the senior tenured advisor?
Dr. Tweed, I'll turn it over to you.
I would say, since I've been there, the changes in the partnership programs and the growth in that area, making sure that the partnerships are really 2+2 programs so that all credits transfer. I think that's a huge deal. Moving it from the number that it was to, on the way to 40 different agreements, that's a big change. I think the development of the Division of Nursing and Allied Health is another area that I'm particularly proud of, and I think that it's very important for the island. We've done a lot of things with our strategic planning, moving forward with programming to facilitate student success, and I think all of those things are terrific changes. I also think that we have a great community, a great team of people who work together towards student success and for student success. And for me, I think that the teamwork that I've seen since I've been there is something that I think is immensely important.
Okay, next up.
And for me, actually, in my division, I've seen a tremendous growth in online courses. Now we offer over 100 courses online. And also we saw a huge growth in the accounting section, as well as compliance.
I'll just want to say, this is going back 7 years now, but I've taken some courses online through on social media and social media
Yes.
marketing thing.
Yes, I know this. I wondered if you were going to mention it.
A long time back, but just as a way, I found, like, for myself, it was an easy way to upgrade my skills at a very little cost in a professional setting. So I appreciate it. I'll just give you guys a shout out for that.
I was waiting. Thank you very much.
And to be honest, I've taken a lot of social media courses since then, but the first ones I took were through Learn University and Bermuda
Right.
College.
That's right.
Okay.
Dr. Greene?
For me, I would say the accreditation has been a major change, because obviously even though we have always had 2+2 arrangements, as a graduate from Bermuda College way back when, I left and went into my third year at Acadia University. So it's not new, but formalizing that has been a change. I think also the change for me is the change from our non-traditional, well, it's been a swing. When I was a faculty member, 30 years ago when I joined the college, we had a lot of traditional students and less non-traditional students. When I became president there in 2007, there were more traditional students or non-traditional students. There's the under over 24 age group more so than the traditional students. But now we have more traditional students. So we've gone from 49% traditional students to 77% traditional students. So that to me tells us that we're doing a good job in attracting those students directly from out of high school when they come to the Bermuda College. So that's been a change. And of course, the nursing program, I have to give a shout out to Nurse Kathy Swan. We went through some challenges and when we first started that nursing program, but I am so proud of what we've been able to accomplish over the years and having our students 87% pass rate in the NCLEX exam. I think that is phenomenal. So I'm very pleased with that change as well.
You just mentioned the challenges with getting the nursing program off the ground and getting it to where you want it to be. And besides COVID, what are some of the biggest challenges that you've seen the college have to face and overcome?
Budget cuts.
Yeah.
I've seen the budget since I've been president. My budget, the grant from the Bermuda government has been cut by 20%. So that has been a challenge, having to do more with less. But I will say that it's never been at the expense of the quality of the education that's been provided by the Bermuda College. We have, and I have to give kudos to the team because they have done a yeoman's job when our budget has been cut. They've always come to the wicket, and we've been able to provide the quality education where our students have. It's never been a question when our students leave us, will they get into that institution? So that is that's been a challenge. I think the increase, looking to attract more males to the Bermuda College, and that's with higher education across the world. But I think trying to attract, what do we do to get the men and those young men to come up to the Bermuda College to further their education? So we do see a slight increase, but we would like to see that be more balanced than what it is now. So those are two of the challenges I think we face.
What's the male to female ratio? Sorry, what's the male to female ratio at the moment?
Male to female ratio now is 35 to 60.
Okay. Anna again is just she would like to know where to find the online courses and more info on the nurses program on your website.
Sure. For the online programs, it's college.bm/PACE. That's for PACE. College.bm/PACE.
And for the nurses program?
For the nursing program, she can go to the same www.college.bm, go under academic, go for prospective students, or and you'll see a list of all the programs there, and the nursing program is there. Also, our college catalog is on the website. So if she wants to have an overview of the program, just looking at it in one place, she can go to the, it's a link there, a quick link called College Catalog, and she can go there and she will go to the table of contents, and right there you'll get all the information about the nursing program, entry requirements, as well as all the courses that you would take. And then you go a little further, you can get a description of all the courses that you take in the nursing program.
I know, like, hindsight is 2020, but from the very beginning, is there anything that you would have done differently, knowing what you know now, over any program or anything? Go, oh, that didn't work out very well. I wish I would have done this earlier.
Yeah, hindsight is 2020.
Yeah. We couldn't have planned for this. We couldn't have planned for this. I don't think anyone could have planned for this.
Yeah. As we look at where the Bermuda College has come from and where we are now, I think we've made the best decisions that we could have made with the information that we had at that time. And I think that if I look at the going back to the nursing program, I think probably reaching out to some of the key stakeholders earlier in the program may have been good. And even internally, getting buy-in internally for the program. Maybe we could have done some more internal marketing with regards to that. But like I said, hindsight 2020. And then if you look at 2020 this year, I don't think anyone could plan what we're going through now, no matter.
Yeah.
But I do think I do want to commend the faculty and staff at the Bermuda College for the 5 weeks that we had. Our students made it through. I looked at grades today, grade distribution earlier this week. In a conversation with Cordell Riley, our institutional research person, because I wanted to know, did the grades suffer as a result of the students being on COVID-19? Now, they did say in the survey, about 30% said that their grades had suffered somewhat. But when we looked at the overall grade distribution, it did not, it wasn't impacted by us having to remove. And that's only because everyone pulled their weight. The faculty went beyond their call of duty, even though it was remote. And one of the things that I do want to put a plug in for Bermuda College remote learning, even though there's many institutions are doing online and will be online in the fall, just like we will be. But the difference between our online and what remote learning and what they're going to be doing in their other institutions is we still have small classes. You're not gonna just be a number. Your faculty members gonna see you on the Zoom screen. They're reaching out to them. They're making phone calls, WhatsApping them, and making sure that everybody is heard. So that even though all of us may be doing remote learning, the difference between Bermuda College will be that you're still gonna get that personalized touch because of the size of our classes. So I say that.
Yeah.
Tawana, with the PACE program, would you have done anything different or make any partnerships sooner than you did?
Well, you know what? We were actually, I guess, we had just signed an agreement with Global Knowledge. And having that agreement made a huge difference because they already had been offering courses online. So they were essentially experts. Here recently, we decided to offer managing remote teams as a course. And that can be for the business sector, health sector, education. So for us, we were already prepared.
Okay, great. And Dr. Curtis Flood, anything that you think that you might have done? Tweed, sorry. Curtis Flood, I'm thinking of the baseball player.
Okay, what was your question again?
would you have done anything differently? Maybe because Dr. Greene talked about maybe bringing the nursing program along sooner than what had happened.
I think since being at Bermuda College that the one thing that I wish I could do differently would be to put more hours in the day, because we have so many things that we would like to get done that sometimes there doesn't seem to be enough time to get everything done as quickly as you would like. So I do have a few programs that we're still working on that I wish we could have gotten through already, but with COVID-19 and some of the delays that we have experienced because of that, there's some things that we'll have to wait until next year. But I also think that, with the path that you take, you learn from it. And so if you went back and changed everything, you wouldn't have learned everything that you know now. So I think a great deal of benefit from, the path that we have taken in this journey.
Can you say what programs you're working on that hopefully will come to fruition?
Well, yeah, sure. I mentioned the diagnostic imaging technology program. That is one that's on its way. We're also working on a core certificate, which is a certificate that students will be able to attain after 1 year of study. And the good thing about this is that we all know that we have some students who attend community college with the intention of only being there for 1 year. So this certificate will allow them to have something in hand that they can take to transfer their courses to wherever they may be going. We're working on that with one track for the US and Canada and with another for the UK. And what's really special about the UK certificate is that students will be able to concentrate on courses in whatever the major is that they're interested in and be able to transfer that to the college in the UK. And we're specifically working on that with a college that is part of the Russell Group. And so that's really an exciting piece for us. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that through to fruition.
Michelle Smith asked, are the NCCER core courses being offered this summer?
Not this
Summer. No.
But in the fall.
In the fall.
Are there any courses being offered this summer?
Oh, yeah.
It's summer
Okay.
stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're not, even though it's COVID, there's no break now that you've got this sort of somewhat good routine in to be able to do it.
Summer school class started on Monday. Most of our summer school classes started on Monday.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
we have rolling admission on our end, depending on the course. And the website spells all the the course dates and what have you clearly for the students. I want to say this though, you had asked about the courses that we're working on. In the fall, we thought we were going to be able to do it in the summer, but we're going to go ahead and launch it in the fall, the Aquaponics course. And our instructor has said, you can grow your herbs, your fruits, your vegetables right there in your kitchen, on your kitchen table. So that's going to be exciting for the fall. And then we're hoping to offer a course for DJs, disc jockeys in the fall. So some pretty exciting stuff coming up. I do want to say to those persons out there looking for the horticulture course, we will be running that again in the fall. This is a certificate for certified landscapers. So.
I know like the hydroponics is really a topical subject, especially now, again, because of the circumstances we're on. There was a greater interest in people growing their own vegetables and things, and this will help them to be able to do it more effectively. This
is it, correct, yeah.
Now, do you have any DJ skills yourself, or?
I don't, but we have the Bermuda College radio station. I'm actually working with her to launch this program in the fall.
So they'll get practical experience at the station?
Yes, working with a DJ in New York City.
Okay. All right. What do you think are some of the biggest success stories the college has had? And why don't we start with maybe a student who was struggling with graduating this year, who had to persevere and overcome because of the challenges that they had to face, in particular with their situation, to put on that cap and gown. So anyone in particular?
I don't have that story to tell you at this time. I do have stories of students that I know might have been struggling initially, and they came back in this year, and one I'm thinking of in particular had all A's and B's, despite the fact that we had to switch to remote learning midstream. And I know she was very proud and celebrated. And I was very proud of her too. So, you know, and the reason that that is so important is because this young person was able to connect with people who cared about her. And all of the faculty do work with our students. Students can come to me if they need assistance, or to the deans, and everybody's there to help them to be successful. So she's not the only one that I know of who is like that, but that particular young lady really did an excellent job. And I know that she's proud of her accomplishments this year. And she will graduate next year.
Okay.
I think in this graduating class, we've had a couple of students who have lost significant loved ones over this past year. And I was very proud to hand out those certificates on Thursday to those individuals who, one particular person in particular who lost their mother and got his diploma, and I'm very proud of the fact that he stuck in there and had the support of the Bermuda College family around him, and he made it.
Because when you lose somebody, especially like a parent, it's a complete disruption of your life. And so when something like that happens, how does the Bermuda College family come around and embrace and support somebody?
Well, normally, the first person to contact, the first point of contact is our Career and Counseling Center. So one of the counselors, the person's counselor, his or her counselor, because every student has a counselor here at the Bermuda College. So they will reach out to them. The dean normally reaches out to them, and then I reach out to them as well, and Dr. Tweed. So they're got to let them know that we're here for them, and that we're going to help them get through it. It's practically every year there's at least one of those stories of somebody who has lost a significant loved one throughout their journey with us. And when you see them walk across that stage, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And many of them are back in the class. They made a commitment that I'm going to do this regardless of what has happened. So.
I said hydroponics. Is that correct?
No, I said aquaponics.
Aquaponics. So aquaponics. Just to be clear. Yeah. For people who don't know what aquaponics are, do you want to go ahead and explain that?
Well, I will do my best. I mean, what he said to me is that you can grow your herbs, your fruit, your vegetables in the kitchen. And if you go online, well, actually, we're working on creating some YouTube videos so that people can actually see the full process. Because he talks about, the fish and the water. And I hope I'm doing you justice, Mr. Joseph.
I can help a little bit with that. The Aquaponics project actually came to campus through our technical education program. So enrollment students were able to use it to study so many different disciplines because it requires science, requires physics, biology, physics, because you use fish. You don't use soil, you use fish and water to actually provide nutrients to the vegetables or fruit that you're growing. And we have one site that we developed on campus, and we're looking at building another one. And you would be amazed to see how quickly the vegetables grow, and not just grow, but they flourish, and it's very good too. So this is a project that can really help with that whole sustainability issue that I mentioned earlier on island, because people can use this. They can have their own little fish tanks and their own growing projects, and use what might be limited space and maximize that to really grow some good food.
You're talking about that, and I think it'd be really good to do a visual of it. So I'm going to make a tentative agreement that I want to come and film and show people so they can actually have a visual to see that. And get excited about it.
Yeah, if you come up on campus, you'll see the Bermuda College strawberries, Bermuda College lettuce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moderate.
Our time's sort of winding down right now, but so I want to give each of you a chance to put a plug in for your program, or be a cheerleader for the college, or have some sort of last word as to about your specific program or about the college in general. We'll start with Tawana.
Sure. First of all, I'd like to say job well done to my team, Romeo, Karen, and Teresa, as well as Tracy. You'll hang in there. This is, we're actually in the middle of summer registration, and we have experienced a bit of anxiety with our students, as to be expected due to the environment, but they've done a good job despite that. Also, congratulations again. I see one student here in the chat, Mount St. Vincent University graduates, as well as the Miami University graduates. Job well done. These are adult learners, so they've had to balance work, family, and their studies, and they've done a fantastic job. So in terms of registering, we do still have a few summer courses available. Again, those are the online courses, and everything's on our site, college.bm. And let's not forget about the fall semester. We've received quite a few emails about the funding. And yes, funding will be available. That's the Bermuda government tuition grant. So throughout the month of July and August, we invite students to come register and apply for the funding as needed.
Right. And your specific program, again, is www.college.bm
/ PACE.
/
Either way, if you go to the homepage and you click on continuing education programs, you can click there and it'll lead you to the PACE division homepage.
And again, I can give my own personal testimony as having received a certificate by doing the social media marketing program. It's worth doing.
Yes, I remember when you registered. Have you applied everything, Dawn?
I haven't applied everything, but I have used it quite a bit.
Oh, very good. Job well done.
Dr. Curtis-Tweed?
Yes. So many things to say. First of all, congratulations to all our graduates. Thank you to my team, to the Academic and Student Affairs team. I'm not going to name anybody because if I leave them out, I'll be in trouble. But thank you all. You know who you are. You're wonderful. Very committed. Thank you also to the Bermuda College faculty. We have an outstanding, committed faculty. I can't say enough good things about them, but they are quite wonderful. I've forgotten to mention the dual enrollment program, of which I am particularly proud as well, because that has grown over the years from a start of 103 students in 2015 to more than 140 students by 2019, and even growing as now for the upcoming school year. My plug would be come to Bermuda College. We have excellent programming. There are wonderful opportunities. And if you're concerned about having to be in a remote learning environment, I would say give it a chance. The thing is here that you will have direct contact with your instructors. The Zoom meetings include everybody. You're not going to be teaching yourself. You're not going to be alone. So really give it a chance. And I think that you will find that the whole experience will be beneficial. Our students rated very highly how beneficial they felt their lectures were during the COVID-19, the pandemic and remote learning experience. And I think that you will find the same. So Bermuda, come and take advantage of your Bermuda College.
Thank you. And Dr. Greene, you get the last word.
Last word. Well, I want to thank everyone, the Bermuda College team, for all that they did to get our students, the 107 students that made it through the institution for their graduation, and congrats to them and their families. I also want to encourage people, those of you that are a bit wary about leaving the island because of COVID-19, the coronavirus, and those that may want to even be a visiting student at the Bermuda College for this semester. With our accreditation with the New England Commission of Higher Education, you will be able to take those courses back to your receiving institution. So those persons that may be guarded about traveling at this point in time, or those that are new to higher education, and I would strongly recommend that you get your start at the Bermuda College. Just like we have some awesome alumni who have done a lot of the leaders in this country in international business, in the trades, and the hospitality industry, all graduates of Bermuda College. So they are testimonies, just like me. I'm a graduate of Bermuda College, and several of us holding leadership roles are graduates of the Bermuda College, and just come and join us. We have some outstanding alumni, and I'm very proud of the quality of education that Bermuda College provides, and it's second to none. And of course, we're hoping that in the fall, we will have many more students as a result of those that have given us a chance. And I'm sure if you give us a chance, you will not regret it. We also want to encourage persons to take advantage of the funding that's available as well. I mentioned earlier, our Bermuda College Foundation is one of the things that has changed, and I'm very pleased that we have this foundation now, and one of their focuses for the next couple of months, they've changed their focus to make sure that students have the opportunity to come to the Bermuda College, and there's financial assistance available. So they are out gathering funds for us now, and they've had some success already, and we will make sure that no student, my philosophy is that no student shouldn't be able to come to the Bermuda College because of finances, because we should make sure that, and we do, some persons are taken out of their own personal pockets to make sure that students get through the Bermuda College. So I'm a strong believer that no one should be turned away from the Bermuda College because of finances.
And I know at the very beginning, I mentioned about the Bermuda government scholarships and grants that over the last 3 years, but there's more than just that. There's the foundation.
Bermuda College Foundation, and again, we have our board puts aside funding for financial aid as well as part of our budget process. So there is funding available, and go into our website. Everything in COVID-19, everything's on the website. So just go to www.college.bm and fill out the application form, because we understand that the island is struggling. A lot of people are struggling. And fortunately, even one of our donors is even provided funding to assist students who may not be able to pay their bill from this semester. So if you can't pay your bill from this semester, you can't register for next semester. But we've had some funding for that as well.
That's very generous.
Yeah.
Again, I want to thank all three of you ladies for joining me today. And just because if anybody's joined late, Ms. Tawana Flood, Dr. Phyllis Curtis-Tweed, and Dr. Duranda Greene, all from the Bermuda College. And I appreciate you spending this time on a Wednesday evening with me. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
And for all of Bernews, I just want to wish you all, as always, for Bernews News and Views, a very Bermudaful evening. Thank you.